On the entry list, you've got Eala. She's there. Boiseau is also there. She's going to have to play qualifying. She didn't make the cut, but with a couple of withdrawals, maybe she will make it in eventually. Very interesting to see who is not actually on the entry list. You know, Badosa's in the qualies at this stage. Now, there are a lot of wild cards.
There is a massive shift happening right now at the very top of the tennis world, and it is starting with a single, highly calculated, and totally unexpected move by the organizers of the French Open. This is not your average promotional decision. This is not a desperate tournament throwing names at a wall hoping something sticks. No, this is a surgical, unprecedented maneuver by Roland Garros, and it has the entire WTA buzzing. They have just locked in Alex Eala for an exclusive exhibition match right before the main draw, and her opponent? The world #1, the most terrifyingly dominant force in women's tennis right now, Aryna Sabalenka. Let that sink in for just a second. When Roland Garros makes a statement like this, the entire tennis world stops to listen. This year, they are not just selling tickets to a tennis match. They are selling a blockbuster story, and they have handpicked the absolute perfect two characters to tell it. Let us start with the most obvious question. Why Alex Eala? Well, if you have been paying even a tiny bit of attention to women's tennis over the last 18 months, you already know exactly why. Alex Eala is not just another rising star. She is a completely unprecedented phenomenon. She is the 20-year-old prodigy from the Philippines who walked onto the hard courts of the Miami Open as a wild card and did something no player in WTA history had ever managed to do. She systematically dismantled 3 consecutive Grand Slam champions, back to back to back, blazing all the way to the semifinals. Nobody saw that hurricane coming, but the tennis establishment felt it. And that is exactly the kind of electric, unpredictable energy Roland Garros is betting millions on. Now she is back, this time on the unforgiving red clay of Paris. This time armed with more confidence, more battle-tested experience, and a massive chip on her shoulder. She spent grueling hours training at the Rafa Nadal Academy. She was quite literally built from the ground up for this specific surface. And even if the mainstream rankings have not fully caught up to her potential yet, she has made it clear that she is physically and mentally stronger than ever before. Roland Garros did not miss that. They saw the raw talent. They saw the massive, global, digitally aggressive fan base. They saw the millions of Filipino tennis fans who showed the entire world what passionate, unapologetic support looks like during that historic Miami run. And the organizers decided, we need that exact energy inside our stadium. But here is where the absolute genius of the French Open really shows itself. They did not just pair Eala with any top 10 player. They specifically paired her with Aryna Sabalenka. Aryna Sabalenka is everything Alex Eala is trying to become. She is the undisputed #1 player in the world. She is the kind of player who makes baseline rallies look like controlled military explosions. She is powerful, she is aggressive, and she is utterly relentless. Sabalenka has been hunting that Roland Garros title for years. And right now, every single eye in the sport is watching to see if she can finally conquer the Parisian clay and cement one of the most dominant stretches of tennis in the modern era. So, what exactly happens when you lock those two specific players on the same court in an exclusive showcase? You get the definition of must-see television. You get the ultimate cinematic story of the fearless challenger versus the unstoppable champion. You get a 20-year-old, left-handed prodigy from Southeast Asia, hungry and completely fearless, stepping into the ring with the most powerful player on earth. Roland Garros knows exactly what they are doing by staging this before the tournament properly begins. This is a masterclass in capturing global attention. This is about completely hijacking the narrative, heading into 2 weeks of intense competition. Every sports network, every tennis media outlet, and every social media algorithm will have Eala and Sabalenka as the lead story. The Philippines will be watching, Belarus will be watching, Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America will all be tuned in. Roland Garros will trend globally, drawing in not just hardcore tennis purists, but casual sports viewers who cannot resist the compelling dramatic contrast between these two fierce competitors. Think about the sheer visual optics of that court. Sabalenka, powerful and precise, a towering force of nature, walking out as the absolute boss of the WTA. And then Eala, smaller in frame but enormous in spirit, the player who shocked the world and now wants to prove she can do it all over again on the biggest, most prestigious clay court on earth. That is not just an exhibition match, that is pure cinema. And make no mistake, there is a massive calculated business reason driving this. Roland Garros has been quietly watching what happens when emerging markets fiercely fall in love with their tennis players. They have seen how the entire sport financially explodes when a new country suddenly gets a hero to rally behind. Carlos Alcaraz brought Spain back to an absolute fever pitch. Coco Gauff turned American tennis into a viral cultural moment. And Alex Eala is doing exactly the same thing for the Philippines and the massive Asian market right now. The organizers understand that a fan base like Eala's, a fan base willing to wake up at 3 in the morning just to watch a first-round match, is the holy grail for the long-term survival and growth of the sport. Handing her this exclusive exhibition is not charity. It is a highly calculated investment. For Alex Eala herself, the stakes could not possibly be higher. Being hand-selected by a Grand Slam for an exclusive pre-tournament showcase against the world #1 is a level of validation almost no 20-year-old ever receives. It puts a blinding spotlight on her that even a deep tournament run might not create. When you step onto Philippe Chatrier, with a global audience tuning in specifically to judge if you belong, the pressure is suffocating. But Eala has never flinched in the big moments. She let her racket do the talking in Miami, and this exhibition is Roland Garros sliding a chair out at the head table of women's tennis and saying, "Show us exactly what you are made of." The entire WTA world needs to wake up and pay close attention. Because what the French Open is doing here is fundamentally reshaping who gets to stand at the center of the tennis universe. They are officially acknowledging that women's tennis in 2026 has a brand new face of global appeal. Some critics will loudly complain that this is all just cheap marketing. Of course it is marketing. But the greatest marketing in sports only works when there is undeniable, lethal substance behind it. The Miami run was no fluke. The ranking climb was not an accident. How Eala handles the terrifying power of Sabalenka on that clay will tell us absolutely everything we need to know. Roland Garros saw the future coming before the rest of the tour caught up, and when that first serve goes up, the entire world will finally understand why. But before we wrap this up, I need to hear from you, because your perspective is what drives this channel. Is Alex Eala genuinely ready to go toe-to-toe with Aryna Sabalenka on clay, or is the French Open throwing her into the deep end way too soon? And if this match goes the distance, who actually walks off that court with the win? Drop your raw predictions in the comments right now, because I am reading every single one of them. If you believe Eala has the magic to pull off the upset, hit that like button to show your support. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe, because women's tennis in 2026 is moving faster than ever, and we are breaking down every single explosive moment.